conspiracy theories, tomorrow's headlines. Most are still asleep and I ain't talking about no bedtime. The truth is not a Google search, you need to get your head right. The Greek goddess of illusion was called Media, and I'm not a coincidence theorist, I look for thread lines. Smashing every deadline, no longer smashing red wine. Though I can hear the bells chime, it feels like the end times. That probably should have been smashed on red wine, but the carnal mind is foolish. Obey and end up ghoulish. Don't get used by instinct, take control and learn to use it. Make a load of earnest music, earn a few quid, learn a few tricks. Sure, the truth is persecuted, this whole world is pure abusive. Know a bit about everything and everything about nothing. Figured out my noggin while you picture out shopping. You sit about watching while I dish it out, stop it. I don't mean to sound cocky, I'm not even proud of it. It's a second itch to me, just to be this out honest. I don't even need to sound honest, never been about profit. Everything but out on it, you can bet your house on it. Doubt I'll be out for the count when the sounds, and I'm down for the beat, no beat down. I mean, how long's it been? Help me out. I've been the only one who's held me down. All in the mind, hell freeze now. Still sick with it, healthy how? Few bars down and the world freaked out. I don't reach out, I seek out to speak out. I'ma recount the reasons they be out. I am not the way, no way. I have seen the way. Seek, speak, repeat, there's no way.
Hello. Welcome everybody to the 509 Divine Pines podcast. You know where we are. We are on Earth and we're headed to Mars, man. You know what we're doing. We're smoking hard, man. We're getting enlightened, lighten the blunt, the bong, and I'm just like flowing, man. I feel great. I've been working out more lately, getting that muscle. Ooh, oh yeah, you know what's up. Yeah, big body. No, for real, like literally over the last 5 years, I've gained like 50 pounds of muscle, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna keep on gaining muscle. 10 pounds of muscle every year, stacking, dog. And it's because I have trusted what God has instilled behind me: books, knowledge, like taking lessons from other people, like like hearing out what professionals or even non-professionals have to say about health. And I'm like, yo, everything is good these days. We have all the technology around us. We have all of the positive badass supplements that are at our fingertip. We have good clean food. Someone, that's questionable, right? You got to go organic, right? We can't say it's good clean food if we're eating McDonald's or if we're eating like GMO junk all day. But we have good, clean food. We can go to the store. Like, I'm surprised that, like when I go to certain stores over here, like Yolks or something, it's like the quality of the organics is nice. I go to these different stores and they all have different organic selections from different parts of the world. I'm like, yo, this is good. Like, this is the type of stuff that heals us, that gets us going, gets our body thriving, builds me muscle, gets my energy right, so I'm not just all like, back hurting all the time and my mind's just inconsistent. None of that. Like, all those bad foods will do that. It will make your body hurt in funny ways. It'll make your brain hurt in funny ways, and you just won't get the proper sleep. You won't get the proper anything. I mean, there's other factors, of course, but what I'm saying, guys, is like, for me, like I have a nutritionist course, certification. I have a fitness trainer license. I've have courses taken for biology and chemical studies and all sorts of stuff that I've been applying to heal us. Like, man, how many people that take their studies to actually heal? No, some people just want to hide it and run it with it for money. Nope, I do it for free, dogs. Hey, and I hope that you guys hit the gym, go on walks, go take your kids or your dogs out to the park, go, just live and feel active every day if you can, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. Like me, I can go 24 hours a day. I wish I could go 24 hours a day working out. Like, that's kind of fucked up though. Like, how do I sleep? Some people do it. I do hear people can go like 1 or 2 hours. Anyways, this was the start of the episode. I hope you guys are chilling right now, loading up your bong, your blunt, your joint, your vape, getting some food, some grub, some water, whatever you can. Let's go ahead and get into it. First Like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody around that we are live. We're live, baby. Let's go ahead and get into the Epstein Files, though. Doo, 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 doo. Let's go ahead. Sorry, I'm moving some chinks over here, man. Right here, Epstein and Harvard professor Martin Nowak were exchanging emails in 2010 about evolutionary theory and something called iLife. Nowak wrote the code breaking is an arms race and a push toward iLife. Epstein responded asking what happens if you compete with your offspring and a mutation in an offspring leads to your own death. Whoa. This is the same professor who sent Epstein a file labeled time travel. Whatever these guys are talking about, it's not a joke and it shouldn't be taken lightly. Like these dudes, let's just say, I'm not just be real. These dudes have what some 200, 300, 400, 5 years ago would call wizardry. Like these dudes are doing like blood magic, like time travel technology or rituals. See, like the whole term time travel wouldn't really exist if it wasn't real. You know, like the way I always say it is that typically things in reality like to stick if it's true, because things that aren't ever true in time or in the universe doesn't really stick around. Like for instance, I could be like, oh, there's uh a pink and blue flying dragon with 3 horns and 10 eyes. That's a lie, right? Doesn't matter how many fucking times I say it. It's not true. And it's not going to stick in reality. In 10 years, no one's ever going to say it because it's not true. Time travel has been speculated for a long time, thousands of years. And it's the only thing, the term, we only know the term because it actually exists. These guys study it. They have technologies. These supposed UFO crashes that they've been getting from Roswell and all these other places where they reverse engineer alien technology. What do you think the alien technology has? Anti-gravity. It has force shields. It has time travel capabilities. It has cloning capabilities. All sorts of different things like AI. There's a whole array of technology that seemingly is non-human that are, let's just say, elites love. They absolutely use it to their advantage and don't let us really use it to benefit ourselves, right? And like they have the technologies from these ET crafts. They're just not telling everybody. So like, because if they told everybody out in the open, right, like 10 years ago, first and foremost, that would be good for us, but it'd be bad for them. They don't want that. It'll be like, it's hard enough to have them fucking admit that the vaccines were all fucking wrong, right? So of course they're not really gonna go ahead and be like, yep, hey man, we're time traveling. Hey man, we got this UFO craft. Yep. Like, nah, dude, that would be so bad for them. And I mean, it already is bad for them. Epstein and all these dudes, like, whew. Let's read the email. Yeah, let's get into it. What if you compete with your own offspring and a mutation in an offspring leads to your own death? Repo rate is a measure of fitness is a problem. I think code breaking is an arms race in interactions between species. For example, predator prey or host parasite. It makes the system smarter. It is part of the constructive process of evolution. It is a push towards life. So hypothetically, I have no actual clue what life means, but hypothetically, I'm thinking this might be what they were trying to get to by uploading their consciousness into a digital frame, so that way they can clone it and repopulate it. But like, it says offspring and mutation. Like, I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know what they're doing. They must be creating hybrid humans, which has been floating around the rumor mill of military soldiers who come out as whistleblowers. Is that like, yo, these elites are creating fucking like half demon human animal hybrids, and I actually just saw a clip about that today. I think it's on my Instagram. Gosh, I really should pull my Instagram clips. I pull a lot of good Instagram clips, and I need a way to get them out into this podcast easier. I should do a segment like that, Instagram clips, because like people drop like 5 minute, good clips, 3 minute, 4 minute good clips, but it's not so easy to just like post it on a podcast. Next up, according to documents released by the FBI, Jay Z would be part of Jeffrey Epstein's scheme with the aim of distracting the public. During the email exchange, Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays, suggests to the billionaire, uh, the financial elite does not need to fear popular uprisings in the U.S. because capitalism and pop culture, through idols like Jay Z, have tamed social movements, turning the pursuit of justice into the pursuit of the lifestyle and the rich and famous and the consumer goods. Yeah, that is correct. Yo, because like people talk about it in the 80s, the 70s, hip hop was all about fight the power, justice. We want freedom, we want love, we want. And then boom, here comes NWA, here comes Dr. Dre, Eminem, here comes Jay Z, all these gangster rappers who are pretty sold out. You know what I mean? Like they are doing what the Zionists want them, taming social movements and taming the pursuit of justice and love, and tricking people into pursuing OnlyFans and lifestyles rich and famous, and I don't know, a billion of other things that aren't really good for humanity. So far, this is the second mention of Blue Ivy's father. Yo, who the fuck wrote this? Put Blue Ivy's father. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go next. They're just trolling. I do feel that Beyonce will probably leave Jay Z. I mean, if Beyonce's hands are somehow clean through all this, I mean, she looks pretty drugged up, so maybe she is. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. Anyways, Epstein won the lottery multiple times for his Zorro Ranch near his Mexican border, where the sex trafficking was. I mean, people are saying it's highly impossible. I mean, it's extremely impossible, and that it's rigged. And I'm like 99% sure. Okay, yeah, you know what? You might be right, but there's still 1% chance that like maybe this dude just bought like a shitload of tickets. Like rich people just go in there and buy as many tickets as they can. It doesn't say how many tickets he bought. All it says is he won a ticket. So like, a rich man could already do a richer thing by being like, yo, let me just go test my luck. I'm gonna buy out these 100 tickets. Oh no, these 1,000 tickets, and maybe I'll win. And then boom, he wins. Like, oh, it could be that. We shouldn't just automatically like 100,000 billion% say, oh, it's rigged. It's it's possible. I don't know. It's possible. Yes. Do we have the documents showing that the lottery actually chose Epstein? I don't know. But I have heard rumors and conspiracies about how like I don't know, 40 through 60% of lottery winners somehow have ties to the government. I don't know. That would be trippy. No, then I would say, yep, rig for sure. So he won 80 million. Zorro Ranch belongs to Epstein, which would the children will be trafficked through and are routed to the East Coast. Several high-ranking officials and friends of Epstein have confirmed. Yep, I've confirmed this. Both Ghislaine in New York and something. What? Yo, there's a key witness that's not being mentioned. I wonder who this key witness is. So it's saying Ghislaine and another witness were served last week. So, whoa, interesting. Why are they redacting that? That's a good question. Now, this is just a quick run up of the sovereignty of these Masonic orders. So right here, the Military Order of Malta, the Knights of Malta. What this is what Donald Trump would have affiliation to, supposedly, allegedly. All right. Um, as you see, a lot of the like elites, the kings, the emperors, like a lot of people, they have relations to these things. Um, so here would be a number, I guess. Here's a little bit of history and what they're all related to. So Switzerland, it's saying right here, says we are the sisters of Isis, being derived from the Templars. In French, and in German, um, and in English, I don't know. These guys are talking about it being related to ISIS. So in all the languages, they're making it like worship a ancient deity, which is what these secret societies have always been outed as. Like these dudes are like worshiping ancient gods. They're not even worshiping Jesus. They're like straight up. They're not. They're just worshiping other ancient gods. Next up, Jeffrey Epstein worked as a Israeli spy, and that's something like a lot of us already knew. Under the Israeli Prime Minister, here's the FBI report. So it's too small to read. Quite frankly, that's a lot of text when it's that small, and just I can't I can't just zoom in so simple. I'd have to scroll through my computer app. Not gonna happen. The plan of Brock Pierce, the crypto billionaire, was to visit the Ark of the Covenant, supposedly powered by a black meteorite, by land in Montana before the ice melts at the poles, and the hedge with gold, which is strange for a crypto billionaire. Looks like he is already expecting a collapse. He was also an astrologer who apparently is the CIA's main astrologer who told him that he was a king, to which Bannon replies the Piercy family. Brock Pierce believes that he belongs to the Percy family, an old English noble family that was among the oldest and most powerful noble families in northern England and for much of the Middle Ages. This is all from a conversation between Steve Bannon and the blacked out name, which, based on the style and commas, I assume is Epstein. But why would Epstein's name be covered? So, yeah, it's interesting, very interesting. So Steve Bannon and these other guys are. I mean, they're all worshiping and studying the ancient past. So, like, there's a good thing to see. Like, they take the ancient past extremely serious. You should too. It's not just mythology. Like, nah, mythology. It's not myth. It's a lot of it. Let's just say a lot of it is really based on deep truth. And I guess these dudes are interacting with the demons from the deep past. But that means we could interact with the angels and Jesus and God. And you know, all praise Jesus Christ. Next up, eugenics and mass depopulation. Oh, you want to see some? So this is from Jeffrey Epstein. Also, I've been thinking a lot about the question that you asked Bill Gates. How do we get rid of poor people as a whole? And I have an answer regarding this for you. When can I call you today to discuss this? Um, wow. Wow. So, that whole talk about like Bill Gates wanting to depopulate the world, it's not really a lie if it's like said out in the open, right? If someone like admits it, like it can't possibly be a lie, and they like create medicine and vaccines to like murder off like I would say probably 5% of the population in the last 5 years. Like it's probably not a lie. So Yeah, all of these dudes were into that depopulation. It's called oh man, yeah, I don't know, something fucked up. What the exact ideology they run, I forgot what it is. Um, Pretty much Luciferian, very ultra satanic. Next, U.S. Department of Justice has released emails. Oh shit! Why is it got to be so small? These guys suck. They need to not clip. Just oh my god! All right. Well, I can't read that. Legitimately, it's gonna stay small. It, So the emails mention New World Order as well as Jasara and Nasara. Emails say that there was a fake Biden wearing a mask. I covered that yesterday. And I actually covered that a few years ago where like I showed the technology of masks and I showed like a history of it and showing where we're at now and where they want to go. And it's like, these dudes got clones and living masks and androids and like robots and can literally artificially create someone's face and body and then put it over someone like a skin suit. It's pretty disturbing, because they want to get rid of the poor people as a whole and like kill the rest and traffic the others and yeah, you get it. It's horrible. Epstein and the boys are bad guys. It reminds me of Biden. Biden when he was in going through his presidency, he's still over here talking about corn pop, right? He's like corn pop. He had a rusty knife. What the fuck? He would say that he had a friend or something, someone he knew. Maybe this was like talking about someone that he couldn't necessarily name, so he's using just a alter alias, fucking uh, was it alias? Jesus Christ, like Elias, like Jesus. What's the name for alternate name? Alias. Jesus Christ, my God, alias. So an alternate alias. Um, so he's like, Corn Pop was a bad dude. Yeah, like, man, all these dudes are bad dudes. Straight up, just bad dudes. So, monopolizing the market, concentrating the wealth, concentrating the narrative. Insane. What's even crazier is that our favorite skateboarding hero, rest in peace, Tony Hawk, he ain't dead, but this dude's gone. I'm just going to say that. So the FBI report in the Epstein Files states that Tony Hawk got married on the Epstein Island. She was taken from Ireland and brought to Jeffrey Epstein Island when she was 13 years old. She got there when Prince Edward was there and when Tony Hawk got married on the island. Oh, Jesus Christ. So Tony Hawk, the professional skateboarder, married a 13-year-old or something like that. Yeah, crazy. You can't even trust these celebrities. None of these guys. None of the celebrities. Next, Sultan bin Salim gives Epstein Quran lessons on friendship between Muslims, Jews, and Christians. The Sultan ends his inspiring lesson with the words, I am going to sample a fresh 100% female Russian on my yacht. So, oh my God. So this dude's over here trying to teach about religion and then like he's like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go sample a fresh girl. What the fuck? It's insane. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I'm pretty sure like mental illness, 100% has to be right. Either like mental illness and demonic possession, or one or the other. Next, a 2017 exchange appears to show redacted email from Germany asking whether they should only send femme miniature type candidates to Epstein from now on. What? Who is this person that was feeding young girls to Epstein? We need to know these names. These are actual parents in society. We need these names of who the people are in these towns, like the judges, the lawyers, the cops, the freemasons, the doctors, the foster care advocates, all these people who are supposedly in the system. There's and then they're the ones sending the girls to these guys. Like we like okay. I expect over the next 12 months we're gonna start seeing people in all across the states, like certain politicians or police chiefs, deputy chiefs, or certain foster care people, like people who've been there for a long time, all step down just like suddenly with no warning or nothing like that. Like I expect if the FBI um has enough names, like they're gonna start arresting like people in the cities, not even just like elites. I'm talking about like people who were part of it, people who go to these Freemasonic clubs and act like, oh yeah, it's just whatever. I'm just kind of doing the bidding for this person. Like, yeah, you're a puppet and a slave, and you're just taking orders like a biatch. And that's what sucks is that these adults don't like being called a bitch. You want to act like a bitch and be a bitch, call you a bitch. Like come on, man, Jeffrey Epstein, bitch. The men and women who are taking these girls and giving them to the elites, bitch shit. That's the truth of it. Sorry for the profanity, guys. And yeah, I'm sorry for profanity, but this shit boils my blood. It grinds my gears, as Peter Griffin would say. Yeah. Next, Epstein discusses how plants have 24 senses and can communicate through long distances with wave function collapse in physics and Rothio Coast's artwork. So this is real. I've been like, studying this, on my own. Like everybody who knows about actual plant nature and agriculture and like deep level science on plants knows that there's something to this. This is like real. Like people have been saying, like, talk good to your plants and they'll grow better. And it's not a myth. When like there's studies like, oh, trees can communicate with other trees, letting them know when certain birds are around, and other plants let plants know when certain insects are around, and yada yada yada. It goes on. It's extremely real. That's whoa. Uh, so the most interesting things I have found between the outside of my unknowing, quantum wave collapse, or Schrodinger cat. Easy. If I ask you if you want chicken or fish for dinner, the answers are superimposed on one another. Both exist at the same time until the decision with the wave function collapses into a choice. It's not that odd when time is taken into account. Um, wow, you just blew my mind. What an amazing analogy. Why have I never read or heard it before? Had dinner with an ex tonight. Probably my best well-read ex. Art history wise, not science. I must say I love talking about books and novel artistic through the senses. Tell me one thing you have found outside of your unknowing. Why do they call it the unknowing? And I wonder if the unknowing has something to do with Nicolas Cage's The Knowing. Hmm. Plants have 24 senses and can communicate over long distances with a complex language. Which plants? Huh? Do you believe in portals? I am funding a plant biology experiment group at Harvard and quantum computer build at MIT. I want to see the computers last week. There goes all encryption as we know it. Next level is quantum encryption. More like know what women want. Plants get cancer. Plants have ATP cycle. So that's energy cycles. So that means like uh throughout the day plants can get tired or you can regenerate them. Interesting. Plants communicate. Plants have cholesterol. We know that quantum encryption will be unbreakable for now. Plants have figured out how to get humans to take care of them. Whoa. Whoa. Uh, uh, you know, there is there's something to that where um it's shown that like nature always knows how to heal itself. Like the earth will always send signals and waves all across the earth to each other and let it know how to change and morph. And like so something maybe possibly like climate, altering in certain areas, rain, or plants needing to get rid of its shell so it can go into a seed or whatever, so wither away so it can fly away. Like these plants know, how to move themselves and when to come alive, and also plants have like actual memory. So plants can pass down memory. Water has memory. Water has like actual words and feelings. And so plants have words and feelings that when you eat it, depending on where the plant was grown and how the nature of the plant, and if it's like super GMO or if it's in a natural state, then the feelings you will get will either be natural or artificial. And with it, if it's natural, the plant can also feed you like energy, and that energy may be memory, ideas, feelings. Could It's a multitude. It's very, very multidimensional, I would say. um Here is parapsychologist Dean Radin, as a kind of like he was one of the person Epstein was emailing about like psychic natures. So Epstein reached out to this guy. Dean Radin discovered a genetic sequence in our DNA which gives normal average people around 60% of humans psionic and psychic abilities and anomalous experiences. What shocked Dr. Radin was that around 40% of the population don't have this gene, and have a deficit, which turned out to be Christianity. We found that a place that has a deficit for people with psychic talent, it turns out to be Christianity. Um, Look, I will be honest. He should go more into it and say that it's the Zionistic Christianity, the Christianity that is not Christ, but more upon the money side. See, like these mega churches, they have millions of people. They've completely shut down their people. Like they're just falsely leading them. These mega pastors who have these mega yachts, these mega cars, all this mega houses. You know what I mean? Like they're just stealing the money from the people, right? Not only that, they're literally like numbing the people with the words and feeling. They're not letting these people grow in those mega churches. Like so, in a sense, you wouldn't be able to have your natural God-given abilities. See, these abilities, these psionic, psychic, telepathic, clairvoyant, deja vu type of abilities. These are in our own DNA, in our own biology, in our own brain. These are in our own pineal gland. These are natural. But when you shut someone down for so long and don't let them spiritually grow, yeah, it turns off. Here, let's listen to Dean Radin for a bit.
Of DNA,
Yeah, that's my bad. Let me go back.
And so we have identified a genetic of DNA, which was the opposite of what we thought originally. We originally thought there's some special gene that makes people psychic superstars, and we'll find what that is. And so we got people who are psychic from psychic families and controls who are not psychic from non-psychic families, and did a standard case control study, which is what you do with genetics. So we found this difference between the two, but the difference was that it looks like most people who are quote average, normal average people, they have capacity for psychic ability. It's these other people still a pretty large proportion of the population, we think, maybe 40%, we don't know exactly, who don't have this particular gene. And by not having it, their capacity for having these kinds of experiences is much, much lower than the average person. So this is kind of backwards, because we're basically saying it looks like everyone can have these experiences, except this group of maybe 40% who end up being extremely skeptical because it's not part of their experience and they don't know how to make it part of their experience. And so one of the people working with us is a specialist in sociogenetics, which was a discipline I didn't even know existed until he started working with us. And what it's about is looking at the genes of a population and how that orients a population towards certain kinds of beliefs and certain predilections. So he did this analysis and found a very strong correlation between and this is a negative correlation. We were originally saying, well, maybe the Druids have, that portion of Northern Scotland or Ireland, maybe they have more psychic ability because they have legends about such things. We found the opposite. We found a place that has a deficit of people with psychic talent. And from a socioeconomic or a socio-historical perspective, it turns out to be Christianity. So we're thinking this is Holy Roman Empire plus or minus a couple of countries over time. There's a deficit of this particular genotype, basically.
So you mean the geographic birthplace of Christianity? You don't mean Christians around the world in general?
No, it's like the birthplace, and then high density is going to be near that birthplace.
Uh-huh.
So we're talking about probably Italy, Spain, a few countries around there, which are still heavily Catholic. There's a deficit of this gene, of this sequence. And so in thinking about that, we were trying to figure out, to get rid of a gene in a population, first of all, takes many generations, but also something has to happen. I mean, evolution does things because there's a need. The need could be that the environment changes, or it could be endless wars. It could be all kinds of things. In this case, all we could come up with as a speculation is the Inquisition.
Yeah, I was going to say that people were persecuted for displaying anything like this. They were accused of witchcraft and so on.
And so those genes were not passed along.
Interesting.
So that this is the speculation at this point, except that the correlation is pretty strong.
All right, that's pretty insane. I didn't know that it boiled down into the area where the Inquisition was, but that would make sense because these dudes were like nearly tortured and like enslaved into it was pretty much like a slavery type of thing. It was murder and slave and genocide. It was control the narrative, burn the books. Pretty wild. Oh, hey guys, you want to know something wild? Being a conspiracy theorist actually like probably helps you live, and like you're winning. So trip out. These are mainstream reporters from like CNN, Fox, MSNBC, NBC, all these places. Let's just say mainstream. From the from the top down. Like these guys are the ones who like the industry chooses to report. Well, all 5 of these dudes were the main reporters who were like, oh, all this child trafficking and Satanism and Epstein and Pizzagate doesn't exist. You guys are all conspiracy theorists. We looked into it. We're professionals. Trust us. And then all of them get fucking arrested for child trafficking. So fuck these dudes. Being conspiracy theorists is a win in my book. And to be honest, I've never actually felt like more relieved in a sense where I'm like, dude, thank God, like finally all this shit comes out, because for a while it was like, damn, this information will never come out. Like we like it was kind of like bad hope, because like in some essence you don't even hope this is true. But when it's true, you're like, Doc, this needs to come out for these dudes. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a relief for conspiracy theorists all around the world. They're like, yo, we've been telling you guys. And all the people who've been telling you, it's fake news. or are actually the bad guys. So, you know what I mean? Here's here's a here's a message from Jeffrey Epstein to Larry Summers. Recall, I've told you I've met some very bad people. None as bad as Trump. Not one decent cell in his body. Next up, an email to Epstein in 2010 describes deliberate search engine manipulation to bury reports on his crimes. They boosted all the other Epsteins to bury direct searches for his name. So, they just completely whitewashed him out of the search engines, which is pretty wild. Wow. He kind of fucked himself up because, like, it made now, I guess, in a sense, it made it easier for the fucking industry to take him out, right? If this dude's already removing himself, now the industry's like, oh, hey, thanks. Now we can take you out easier. Next, email to Epstein talking about using ibogaine to help girls' childhood trauma and remind how David DePop, the man who attacked Paul Pelosi with the hammer in his home, dated a Russian lady named Gypsy, who was a nudist, and opened up the Jerry Garcia Family Clinic in Mexico, where she medicated Mexican street kids with ibogaine. Oh shit! She was trafficking kids out of Mexico is what they're trying to tell us through this. Oh shit. Oh yeah, so it's at the bottom right there. It says, in London, I met with a group that leverages ibogaine, and spiritual traditions from Gabon. Oh yeah, I read that, but this is the actual picture of the chick that started it. Man, she looks wicked. Ew. Yeah, horrible. I forgot where I heard ibogaine. Someone said it, that it's a very powerful thing, and that you should be very wary of it. Yeah, makes sense now. Why read the protocols of an elder of Zion when you could just read Jeffrey Epstein's emails? Psych, you should read both. So the protocols with the preface and explanatory notes says the possession of these documents in Soviet Russia is punishable by death, by immediate death. So that's not on that. That red isn't actually on the book, but the red is a note because Russia doesn't want these Jews. So, this is pretty much the protocols of the Jews, I believe. Every patriotic American must read these protocols. It's the Jewish plan to take over the world and America. Next up, the dark square of child trafficking. This is the Pizzagate and the USAID operation in DC, and how wealthy elites and corrupt government officials use front companies and non-government organizations to launder money and traffic and abuse children. It was all right in the open. This was one specific block in DC where it all went down in just a fraction of the entire satanic child trafficking cabal and the piece to the entire Pizzagate scandal. Let's start off with the map and all the convenient locations of these businesses that are just feet away from each other, that are all owned by some of the wealthiest, most powerful, far left-leaning people in DC. A perfect little setup for laundering money and trafficking children, starting with Comet Ping Pong, owned by James Alefantis, whose name in French eerily translates to I like children. Uses known FBI confirmed child predator symbols in their menu and artwork in the building. Has one hell of an odd social media page hinting at some sick activities allegedly taking place at these businesses. And so, yeah, like there's documentaries. I think I played one of them way back, like that like, yo, these dudes weren't playing around about their pizza business, and they obviously made too many public jokes and hints, and they got all caught up. James also owns Buck's Fishing and Camping, which is directly next door. You start to wonder why James denied that there was a basement when you see multiple pictures of them online digging tunnels in the basement of Comet, which was even called out on Joe Rogan's podcast. I wonder, why are they there for James? Next to Buck's Fishing and Camping, you have Besta Pizza. Besta Pizza is owned by Andrew Klein, it surprisingly worked for under the Obama administration, and also had the FBI confirmed child predator symbolism in their business logo. The logo was immediately changed after Pizzagate went mainstream, and people publicly called out Best of Pizza. So you work in the government to save children, but have a pedo logo on your business? Funny. Sounds like an easy way to avoid detection because you work for the government, supposedly, right? Also, Best of Pizza in Portuguese is translated to Beast Pizza. Oh shit. Uh, Satanism and child abuse go hand in hand. You should know this by now, especially if you've been following my podcast. Like, I'm being real. Like, if you've been following my podcast, you should like. There's a lot of stuff that you'll be aware of, and you'll be like, "Whoa, I'm gonna stay away from that business." Politics and Prose is next, which is co-owned by Lisa Muscatine and her husband. Lisa is close friends and would write speeches for Hillary Clinton, and is also a major donor to Hillary and the Democratic Party. She also has ties to Barack and Obama. Oh man. Along with many others, includes James Alefantis from Comment and Andrew of Best of Pizza. Across the street, you have Tersol and Bistro, who is also friends to the Clintons and the Democratic Party, and once again also had the FBI confirm that there was predator symbol on their menu, and then removed it after Pizzagate. Lastly, just in this one block radius of DC, you have Beyond Borders, which is a 501(c) nonprofit connected to the Clintons and their foundation in Haiti, where over $13 billion was raised altogether, including through the Clinton Global Initiative and Foundation that ended giving less than 3% Haitians and building the people of Haiti only 6 houses in total, and stole like 1 million kids. No victims in Haiti ever received a dime of the taxpayers' funds that went through USAID and the Clinton Foundation. Chelsea Clinton's $3 million wedding was also allegedly paid with taxpayer funds that was supposed to go to Haiti victims. The Clinton Foundation is also tied to child trafficker Laura Gaylor, who attempted to steal children and was caught, and then tried to steal 33 children again and was caught. The Clintons hired a lawyer for Laura, who you guessed it, was also caught and prosecuted for child trafficking as well. Yeah, so here is the oh shit, this is wow, it is really close. They literally own businesses right next to each other. Wow. Yep. That's pretty. I mean, come on. Clinton's homies all own, these weird symbol businesses, and that are, they all right next to each other, and they all have like this underground tunnel. Something's fishy for sure. So Luke Radowski is wondering, why is the Department of Justice protecting the sender of an email questioning about a 9-year-old? Come on. Why are they protecting certain names? Get real. Children are being raped at the White House, and it sucks. Look, so it says, Dear Barack, when we began the pizza arrangement, I thought we were going to be more careful than this. Operating from the White House is not what I originally had in mind. Remember that the hot dogs can come, but if you make a spectacle out of it, that will be our downfall. Please know that I'm speaking as a friend. You are the president and can do as you like, but I have to say that I think it would be wiser to restrict this activity to our predetermined locations. Thanks, Hillary. So tell me, why do they need a specific location to eat hot dogs? That's so crazy. Pizza and hot dogs at a certain place, because the place where in the White House might be their downfall if they make a scene out of it. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't really want to know. Anyways, why was Epstein having his MIT and Johns Hopkins people research what fibers are the best to carry germs and pathogens on clothing. What? You could find a way to impregnate the G-Ni polyester with anti-malarials, even if it's just a small gimmicky amount. In the early polyester fibers had the material already in it, certainly could be more valuable and add some cash. Maybe it's more expensive, but to make it easier to sell, the military. So they're trying to create a military uniform, I guess. The military is often responsible for innovations, and this has certainly been the case for anti-malarial clothing impregnated with the insecticide permethrin. However, as a battle against malaria extends into new areas and the specter of drug resistance looms, non-military use for such clothing are being explored. Clothing treated with insecticide can repel insects, prevent biting, and kill insects. Treating clothing involves similar processes to those used for impregnated bed nets, with fibers coated during the manufacturing process. The big benefit of permethrin clothing is that it stops mosquitoes surviving to transmit diseases. Holy shit. So like that would actually be a cool technology if they made clothing that made all bugs that like wanted to sting you go away, and there was no diseases transmitted through the. Wow, yeah, okay, that's pretty wild, right? Reducing non-combat deaths has been a challenge. In the First World War, there were almost 17,000 cases of malaria among soldiers. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know you could actually do that with clothing. Um, Interesting. So next, see, there's an email saying she has said on record that Epstein offered her money to do this: birth babies for black market use. A woman who accused John of God cult leader um, of rape mysteriously kills herself in Spanish home. That's the subject. So that's how the holy shit. I'm reading the subject on top. So so wow. Hey man, that's like Kevin Spacey shit. So Kevin Spacey had like 3 rape accusers all die, or sexual assault accusers all die. Like, whoa, okay, dude. Guess they can't take it to court, huh? Then right here with this John of God, same thing. Holy shit. This uh is pretty wild. So this is talking about their human hunting parties, and um these things would have happened on Catholic cathedrals, Vatican, private estates, and groves, and government military bases in Belgium, Holland, Spain, Australia, Ireland, France, England, and the U.S. At least 34 child mass graves were identified in Ireland, Spain, and Canada, and refused excavation by the respective governments, Crown of England, and Catholic Church. Name of the present in the Ninth Circle activities were Pope Francis, former Pope Ratzinger, Anglican, United Church of the Canada Catholic Church officials, including cardinals, members of the European royalty, including Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, officials of the Canadian, Australian, UK, and US military, and governments, including the USA's CIA, plus prominent government ministers, judges, politicians, and businessmen from the US, Belgium, Holland, Canada, Australia, France, Ireland, and the UK. So, like I said, it is a lot of politicians and businessmen and people in supposed our cities that they're like supposed adults and people of power, and they're gonna go down too. I'll be real, fuck them. And it's a bit of a trip. Now we're understanding pizza a bit more, right? On May 22nd, 2010, programmer Laszlo Heineck completed the first commercial Bitcoin transaction, 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 large pizzas. But funny, 2 little boys that don't really look like him. He has like blackish hair, and they have like this golder brown hair, and they have shirts that have like pizza and a heart very strange. People are speculating. What if this Bitcoin and crypto and all of this stuff was first used for trafficking? Whew, yeah. Well, Epstein was definitely doing things that was very similar to the Waterloo incident. Man, it almost seems like they run the same plays over and over and over and over again. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. Pardon me for a moment. Oh, hey, you know what? Hey, Ghetto Bedroom Records, let's go. Yeah, thank you for being here. Let me go to...
Gonna go far, that's what we on the run for, go hard. Sipping gin while we sitting, spitting those bars. Getting rich, got a vision, get the show cards. Lot of money laying around cause we go hard, always go hard. Spitting fire, see the sonar, hope they resonate with the vibe. Feel like Mozart, really I'm alive and my soul feel like Mozart. That's what hoes are, too explosive so I show art. Yeah, I make art, sad to see people with no heart. I work to replace all of the negative, I go far with it. I'ma show all of these bitches no complaining. If you with it, don't you dream me, see the vision. Need my energy, the mission, really take all my precision. Every single day I picture where I'll be the day we get it. Feed the brothers, feed the fam, I don't really give a damn. I don't wanna get famous, I wanna lend a hand. Give the cash and rubber bands to the people always standing on my side, always down the ride, say I planned it. I'm the guy, life is supersized on the planet. In my mind, I don't gotta try, already have it. I'll be doing damage, I was born a savage. In my mind, I already died, living lavish. Heaven is a state of mind, be glad if you have it. Living in a simulation, be patient to grab it. Universe will bring it to you if you ain't an average. If you live an average, then Satan found a manage your life. I'm just trying to tell you if you gonna roll the dice, gamble in your life instead of living precise. I ain't perfect, but I'm gonna earn it. No, it don't concern anybody but my person. Lesson that I learned is that people are gonna burn. Anything you do, they gonna pay the price. Nothing nice come in life for the dipshits. They just wish shit, never gonna manifest it. Never catch me resting, short-term blessings. I just want my brain to work so I can write my next hit. Ignite the blessings, manifest my life, never question a moment in my life. I be knowing that it's meant to be, this my destiny. All the rest of my life really history. The day that I'm finally gone, they'll be missing me. Your position be the reason that I'm gone. 200 songs done, I've been on the run. I ride a wave, make a way, I'm the one. I stay the same, but I'm changing a ton. Rearranging my brain for the gains through the sun. I've been absorbing the light, I could say that I won. At least I'm conscious of what I'm doing, praying a ton. Relay all the information, staying patient with the shit. I write a hit just to get through all the shit. I ain't a bitch, so I'll make it. I ain't dealing with the prick, I'm finna take over the game. Really, I'm getting in, I'm really glad that you're here to witness it. I'm about to fix entire rap game. You could call it magic like a trick. Classic with the way I spit it. They be clapping when it hits. I be snapping on this shit. I've been rapping, feeling lit. I'm
Yo, guess who's back in the motherfucking house with a fat bomb for your motherfucking mouth? Because I don't want to say the other part. Yo, the real lyric. Yeah, anyways, Epstein Files, Rothschild banker Ariana Rothschild emails Jeffrey Epstein, thrilling hunt, amazing old male, amazing hunt. My bankers should be careful. What the fuck? Yeah, they hunt humans, literally. Yeah, they go on human hunting parties. There's like movies about it. I forgot what movie it is. Yeah, I should remember exactly. I don't remember. Dang. Epstein Files text messages reference the kid getting bikini wax. What? Oh no. Pornhub introduction and placement tests. February 2019 texts from Epstein's phones are horrifying shit. This kid couldn't have done bikini wax because hair's too All right, I apologize for the technical difficulties. My whole computer just turned off, which is just, I think it's because it's old ish, kind of like, I mean, for computer technology sense, these things get fucking outdated within a year, so whatever. I'm bringing up my computer stream again. Just pardon me for one moment. Shit. Yo, I'm back. Yeah, I know one thing. I'm right over the fucking target. So yeah, a lot of this stuff is pretty pretty good data, and like the mainstream gets mad. Fucking, I'm sure some censor out there. I tripped some censor with a word, and it tried to cut my stream yard stream or something. I don't know. Whatever. Um, that's just that's just because I'm recording live, and I don't know. My computer's acting fucking slow for a moment. It's quickening up. Don't worry about it. So, oh, here it is. And pop up the screen, and let's get back to it. All right. Now, shit. Well, yep, right back into the same email. Let's go back. Oh, now, why did it do that? It just exited me to my actual like account to refresh. Shit, of course. You, very strange. Give me 1 second while I go ahead and what the fuck? There we go. We are live again. Back. So it won't be too hard to clear out and cut out that 4 minutes of weird trippy internet connection. Going downward back to where I left. All right. Here we go. Oh, pretty much them like sex slave kittens, mind control victims, doing all sorts of sick, twisted stuff to all of them, right? But then we also got this right here: Bad Bunny connected to pedophilia and rape allegations. So in 2020, bus were at the heart of the allegations of pedophilia, sexual abuse, assault, and nasty infractions. Two owners of the luxury yacht company targeting underage girls, University of Puerto Rico professors, party promoters, and more are on the list of callouts stemming from stories told by survivors. So pretty much like the same thing. They have these elite parties now in the other countries, and then boom, bad. Yeah, you could definitely tell Bad Bunny's like somehow, some way, just risen to the top for some reason. And it's not because of talent, to tell you that. On Sunday, added to the record was an associate, Bad Bunny, Jesus Hernandez, or Chucheto. He's on some Bad Bunny songs and seen in videos. A woman is alleging pretty much rape. Uh, um, and then like Bad Bunny defends him. I don't know. Epstein private chef dishes on island guests. Yeah. I think I read this yesterday. Hey, you know what? I think we're done for today. The internet connection kind of like I was at the end of my articles for today, anyways. So thankfully it kind of glitched out and ended this right in a weird way. Like I don't have to speak too much. Now, now I don't have to cut out too much either. So cool. Hey man, that's I'm for tomorrow. Way I could just have more options on bringing and guessing and using like a whiteboard and another background to help show this. You guys could share this out. Go ahead, check out all my socials down below. Check out all my other episodes. There's like at least 1,000 hours of radio content on this podcast. And go check out all my sponsors down below. If you want to get right in the gym, if you want to change your life for this year, there are 3 companies that you can go down to right here: chemicalfreebody.com, boomerboost.com, and shopc60. So my coupon codes are down below. For boomerboost.com, you can get 30% off by using the coupon code JOE30. So JOE 30. You can go get a 10% discount off Chemical Free Body and Shop C60. So go to chemicalfreebody.com and shopc60.com and use coupon code 509 Divine Pines. Those 3 companies will change your health. Word to God, word on my life, word on like my whole existence. I've been taking these 3 companies for a minute. Ever before I even got sponsored by these guys, I actually used these products myself and loved them. And trust me, I talk about organic food and good food and natural food, and I don't really eat a lot of junk. Trust me, I'm not gonna like junk supplements. These are not junk supplements. These are high quality. And thanks. Hey, thanks, Ghetto Bedroom Records, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for everybody coming out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be blessed. Be high. Peace.